Okay, Year 12. So I thought I would just do a quick screencast with regards to introductions. So I'm going to use our essay question from this week. That's the one that I've just highlighted up the top that says, in oppressive societies, there is little possibility for trust. What do these texts suggest about the nature of trust? If you need to know how to write this essay as a whole, you need to watch the other screencast, okay? That's on the Miss Brooks English YouTube channel, and it was made by Miss Brooks, okay? So you need to watch that. But this one's specifically about introductions, okay? Not just for this essay question, although we'll use this one as a model, but about introductions in general. So the one thing I would say is before you even listen to me, you should click on the link that's hopefully going to work, all right? And you should have a look at the Ed Rollo lesson on writing a comparative introduction. All right, I'm going to exit out of that because of the noise. So first of all, make sure you do have a shot at watching that Ed Rollo lesson. And of course, remember, you've got Ed Rollo annotated notes, okay? So you've got these slides that you might want to print, okay? That could be well worth looking at, okay? And it's got a whole lot of different intros on there, okay? I did print out some copies of these in class last week. I think it'd be well worth going over them. Anyway, back to mine. So here's how I do an introduction. Here's what I teach. From Year 7 right through to Year 12, it stays the same. So I say an introduction has 4 basic components. It has an opening sentence, all right? It has reword the question. You outline your 3 arguments, and you clearly answer and refer back to the question. And all over the internet and from different teachers, you're going to see different versions of this. But for me, this is the same and always from Year 7 to Year 12. And this applies not only to comparative, but for text response, because it's basically the same structure because we're writing an analytical essay. So you can use this for a comparative response or a text response. So we're going to talk about comparative today. All right. So the first is an opening sentence. So that's a statement about both texts in general. So 1984 by George Orwell is a warning about the future of totalitarianism, while Anna Funder's Stasiland is a retrospective look at the former GDR. Something along those lines. Then you have to reword the question. So what is the question, as in the essay question, actually asking? In this case, it's asking, what can you say about trust in these texts? So you might say something like, both texts suggest that in oppressive societies, trust is often eroded. However, Anna Funder suggests that the nature of trust can be rebuilt, whereas Orwell suggests it can't. All right, something along those lines. Your 3 arguments. So what are going to be your 3 body paragraphs? So we talked today and we said totalitarianism, control, love and connection, authorial intent. There's your 3 body paragraphs. Then you finish by referring back to the question. What are you going to argue, all right? What are you going to say about the nature of trust, all right? What is the point that you want your readers to take away? So if we then go to our next page and we look at this specifically for this essay question, I've actually tried to break down the introduction that Miss Brooks gave you. That's here, okay? I've tried to actually break that down for you here. So opening sentence, the general sentence, oppressive societies, because both Stasiland and 1984 are oppressive societies, are maintained through the illusion of perfection. The illusion of perfection, that things aren't actually perfect, all right? A belief or an idea that is perpetuated, that is put forward by propagandists. So we talked about propaganda, you know, falsity, elements of a state which seeks total control of all aspects of its citizens' lives. So then what we have is we have reword the question. What are we actually being asked? So using Miss Brooks's intro as a model, I have said both 1984 and Stasiland depict totalitarian states which seek to erode trust. So what are they trying to do? They're trying to erode trust, all right? And eradicate something. Notice my choice of language. Personal relationships. However, so I'm already working in some comparison here. While Orwell suggests that trust is impossible, Funder offers hope as key characters rebuild trust in each other and society after the fall of GDR. Can I just be conscious too, or can you just be conscious, sorry, that you do say the GDR or the former GDR, all right? Just be conscious of that. All right, what are our 3 points? We talked about this a lot in class. Totalitarian regime, surveillance, informers. You should have a paragraph that you're just tweaking always on control, okay? your first paragraph. You should have done that over the holidays. You should be able to copy that into your document and then look at your essay question and go, okay, how do I make what I've got fit this essay question better? What do I need to change? Do I need to change my examples, my language, etc.? All right. You should have also written on love and connection, okay? And here we're saying, how do citizens resist this oppression? All right. Who does? Does it work? And then the final one we haven't talked about a lot, so it's probably a good idea that you read the sample paragraph for authorial intent that's at the end that Miss Brooks wrote for you, all right? And that's about what is the message, and we talked again about that today. What are Orwell and Funda trying to tell us about trust, about is it misplaced, all right? And then, of course, you finish your introduction by clearly answering or referring back to the question. What are you going to argue? I've made a statement, I've used a concluding statement. Ultimately, the text is similar. I'm offering comparison in showing how constant surveillance informs impact on society by eliminating trust in friends and family and causing psychological damage, all right? So I've said, what does the erosion of trust do? Causes psychological damage. However, but that comparative phrasing, Orwell's fictional text amplifies these effects beyond what occurred in GDR comparison. I hope this makes sense to you. So you've got your structure here, you've got your broken down introduction, then you've got your complete introduction here. You've also got your Ed Rollo video on writing an introduction, okay? And if you need to know about conclusions, there's also an Ed Rollo video on writing a comparative conclusion, okay? It's not hard. Stick to what you know. You've done this before because you've done this for Mouse at the start of the year effectively. You did this last year effectively, okay? Trust your instincts. Go back over this. Read the samples, okay? There's lots of samples floating around that the different teachers have written, lots in the text guides as well. And give it a shot. You have to draft. I can't emphasize that enough. Even if it's just an introduction that you write and a bit of a plan because you're short on time. That's better than doing nothing. I hope this helped. Thanks heaps, Year 12.